folks. Welcome to the Steel Pirate Podcast. Today we're going to talk to you a little bit about Championship Sunday, a little AFC, NFC action, the Lions, the Niners and Ravens, and the Chiefs. It was a great matchup between both of those teams. That second game was a barn burner down to the last minute there. All right, so we're going to start with the first game of the Sunday afternoon. Yeah, mid-afternoon. The first game was the Baltimore-Kansas City game. It was a pretty one-sided affair, I felt like, from the start. Definitely some highlights from Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes both, but I think the big thing there to note was just how Lamar Jackson played. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, there was fireworks all around the field, but when you turn the ball over twice, team can't win the game. I said it about Buffalo and Baltimore. Buffalo needed to develop a running game with a running back. Baltimore needed to develop a running game with a running back. They didn't do that. And because they didn't do that, they were unable to be successful. Could be wrong, but you guys can help me out here. I think it was, 8 touches from a running back or something in the second half of the game.
Yeah, they just threw it away.
I mean, granted, don't get me wrong. It was Lamar Jackson and put it in his hands, and but I think when you pay a man $260 million guaranteed like they did Lamar, you got to win those games. You can't fumble the ball. You can't throw an interception. Things like that can't happen and expect your team to be successful. I mean, I don't know. It seemed like a lot of what I saw this week was everybody wants to move the goalpost for Lamar Jackson again, similar to what they do with Deshaun Watson. Everybody said, "Oh, next year." After Deshaun Watson came in for half a year, "Oh, next year, can't wait till next year." Well, the next year he got hurt. I mean, I guess following years, we've yet to see, but it's really hard for me to, take a guy like Lamar Jackson completely serious at $260 million when you go out there and turn the ball over two ridiculous fashions, in my opinion. I mean, granted, that interception he threw was just kind of atrocious if you watch it. I mean, he read cover 2 and he threw it right to the safety. He said that in the press conference. "Oh, I read Tampa 2 and then what? Threw it right to the fucking safety, dude." Like, it's just a little ridiculous in my opinion. I think Lamar Jackson is the AFC Dak Prescott right now. I think hell of a player in the regular season. Hell of a player in the regular season. When you start to get to the end, if he's played all season, he's hurt and he ain't gonna finish. If you save him up when he goes out to sling the thing and the game's on the line, he ain't got it. I don't know. It just seems to me like, when you demand $260 million guaranteed, you shouldn't need all these puzzle pieces brought around. You should need that young receiver in Zay Flowers, and then you bring in a vet like Odell. And yeah, granted, you had a Mark Andrews injury, but it's still like, how many times are we going to say, oh, Lamar, yeah, he was the last pick of the first round. Everybody doubted him. Well, I mean, what's he done? Ronnie?
I just have to say, okay. That's definitely a hot take. That's definitely a hot take. Dak Prescott, because here's my thing. First point being, the Chiefs had 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like Patrick Mahomes went off for some crazy number. He did a
Lamar
little
Jackson
bit more,
had nothing to do with the way Patrick Mahomes played, in my opinion. They're not on the field at the same time. Like, the Chiefs had 17 points at $260 million. You need to come out and score 21. Like, what?
It was just one of those games, and as the game was going, I feel you. As the game was going, I was thinking about what Josh said last week about how everybody thought it was going to be a high-scoring game. And it was a defensive game, bro. And at the end of the day, if Zay Flowers doesn't fumble that ball, he doesn't even need to reach out, bro. He's so athletic. If he just jumps in and has the ball like this, he's scoring.
Just
right.
Run.
Like, so.
Turn your feet, brother.
This is the other thing. It's crazy to blame somebody for a loss that has an entire highlight reel from that game alone. The dude threw a pass to himself in that game.
Okay. I thought he was gone, too.
Bro,
I didn't say, bro. I said there were highlights.
Like,
But highlights don't
And-
put rings on fingers.
And you're an advocate for someone like Kenny Pickett being able to potentially succeed in the Steelers offense, correct? With that,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So if we say Kenny Pickett needs more help, then
But it's easier to get Kenny
Lamar.
Pickett more help. It's easier to get Kenny Pickett more help when he's not asking for 260 guaranteed.
Well, yeah, bro, but that's what he would get paid if he did what Lamar did. Lamar's an MVP. He might win another MVP this year.
Ain't no Mike on that one. No Mike on that one.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, ain't no Mike. He's gonna win the MVP this year. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers did that back to back, and how many rings does he put on in them years?
It's apples to Apple Jacks.
He's got one. He beat the Steelers. I remember
in those years when he went back to back MVP, the MVP years.
But the thing
that's
I'm going to say,
I'm just comparing the two.
Yeah, no.
He just went back to back, and Lamar is about to go back to back. No, or close. I don't know.
Football is the one sport that you can't say one person can carry you to a championship. Football. All four of us played football, correct?
Right, and that's why I'm saying when you're taking
ultimate team game.
For sure.
Right, 100%. And are we holding him to Pat Mahomes, or are we holding him just the standard of being a great elite quarterback?
I'm holding him to everybody else that has a $260 million guaranteed contract. Okay? I want to hold him to those folks, right? How is
Patrick Mahomes?
Okay. What is the difference? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, you got it. That's who you got to compare him to because that's the impact he has.
The other thing though too is that the Chiefs' best players stepped up in the biggest moments. Besides just
is that Patrick Mahomes' leadership? Is that Patrick Mahomes' ability to grab the room and make the room listen to him and take his team to the next level? His ability to take the team to overcome? That's why he's guaranteed that money. I'm not saying Lamar isn't able to make those plays, but can he make everybody around him make those plays too? Like Patrick Mahomes, like the other folks that are guaranteed the same amount of money.
What did they lose? 3 games this year?
Right. And with who's their number one receiver?
Zay Flowers.
It was Mark Andrews, and it turned into Zay Flowers.
Wow, a rookie and injury-prone Mark Andrews who literally talk about not showing up and dropping the ball in big moments. Where you at?
2 of them.
I don't even know why they activated him.
He had 2 drops.
Two huge drops.
Like,
did he even practice? Did he even practice? I don't think he did. I think I heard that pregame.
And they activated him Thursday.
I don't know why they activated him. He had 3 catches. He had 5 targets.
I mean, that's just a business decision. It was either him or some fucking probably 5th string outside linebacker that wasn't going to make a difference in a win either.
Yeah, I didn't. There's a lot of things I didn't get from that Ravens.
Bro, AFC Championship game, you're playing your best players. Mark Andrews is a dog.
Mark Andrews was on the field for 9 plays in the game.
Bro,
I hear you.
Broke up 2 of them.
I just don't get why they activated him. It's just very confusing to me. It doesn't make any because they're not even using him as a decoy. He was only on the field for 9 plays. It didn't make any sense.
I just think bottom line, in order for them to go back and do that again, I think the O-line in Baltimore needs a little touch.
Just test. I think they need guard help.
I think they need a number 1 receiver. Period. Point blank. A true number 1 receiver. And I don't know the logistics behind it all. I don't know how contracts work. I don't know how everything can move. But there's a guy in Philly who's pissed. And if that guy goes to Baltimore, Lamar Jackson might go win a fucking Super Bowl. I'm just telling you. AJ Brown, Lamar Jackson duo might be absolutely dangerous as it gets. Okay? I'm not saying that that's not a possibility and he couldn't go win something then. I'm just saying Lamar Jackson, like you say, Lamar Jackson with a rookie receiver and a vet and an injury-prone tight end couldn't get it done. He couldn't take that adversity and convert it, even though he makes $260 million guaranteed. That's all that I'm saying.
But their run game is what got them there. I don't think Lamar was calling plays.
That's the ball.
Exactly.
What
Exactly.
Lamar
I
for
don't
rushing
think
this
you
year?
can blame
Bro,
Lamar for the lack of running calls in a
there were
two-score
six
game.
carries by running backs on their roster. That was
Right.
dumb.
No, in fact, that's what I'm saying. I watched that game and think, how the hell do you watch this and say this is on Lamar Jackson? Like,
I'm not. Okay. The play call, like, I don't know what changed. You told me, Ronnie, in word for word, keep Lamar healthy, bring him to the playoffs, turn him loose. When you call a pass play like they do, in my opinion, I don't know what's coached. I don't know how it goes, but to me, it feels like you're saying, Lamar, drop back. If it ain't open, rip, cuz.
I've had a bunch of talks with people that watched that game, and the one common denominator that we have all come to the conclusion was somebody had to be in Lamar. Somebody had to be in his ear saying, "You have to throw the ball. You have to prove to people that you're a thrower," because there were ample opportunities for him to go out there and at least pick up 12 on third and
I
8.
feel like
The strip sack that happened, he should have took off. Like the middle of the field was wide open.
The worst part was it was all like rhythm passing too that they were trying to like implement. Like all rhythm, 3-step, 5-step, bang, bang, get it out. Like that's not one of these.
Top of your head, go ahead and get it out. It
like,
wasn't
right,
there.
bro. Like
running
that's
man.
not right. Even when he's playing his best, that's not even what you want. What the touchdown he had was electric as fuck when he broke loose and threw the you know what I'm saying,
bro. I
got behind the secondary because he made a play. But then I think one of the issues is, bro, they showed a play where Gus Edwards, it was like in the first quarter or second quarter, it might have been, had like a 15-yard run, like going into Kansas City territory. Bro, he got 2 or 3 more carries the rest of the game. I can't remember if they said 2 or 3, but 2 or 3 more carries the rest of the game after that.
He had 4 carries.
They were down. Because they were down. And when you're down and you got a dude that you just stroked that check to, who's getting the ball, bro?
Okay, Rashard Mendenhall talked about this with Ben Roethlisberger. He said that the reason that the Steelers lost the Super Bowl against Green Bay that year is because they got to the Super Bowl and started trying to pass to be like, this is our hero, this is our guy, he's the guy who got us here.
He's leading us to the promised land.
Instead of doing what got them there, which was running the football and
100%.
The teams that stay with what they do, at the end of the year, typically are the ones that win.
And listen, take analytics out of it. Take analytics out of it. Take Baltimore out of it. Point fingers at whoever you want. Say, somebody did or didn't do their job. Whatever the fuck. Bottom line. What did I say 2 weeks ago when the Chiefs were underdogs? What did I say last week when the Chiefs were underdogs? This is the Kansas City Chiefs. This is the playoffs. This is Patrick Mahomes. This is Travis Kelce. This is Andy Reid. Like, I don't care how good the Ravens have been this year. This is what greatness looks like. It's not fun. You know what I mean? Because none of us are a fan of the fucking Chiefs, but we are witnessing greatness. It's consistently happening. That's not a fucking coincidence. They have the pieces. They know what this shit looks like. They know what it feels like. They're seasoned. They're used to it. They don't crumble under pressure. Travis Kelce becomes a fucking superhero in the playoffs somehow. Like, has his best game of the whole fucking season in the AFC Championship game. Like, they just turn shit on, bro. They're the Houston Astros. It is what it is. Like, they'll be in a slump in the regular season and people will doubt them, and then guess what? They make to the fucking playoffs and they ball. It's just going to keep happening.
Correct.
Patriots.
Anything beyond that is just overthinking it. Lamar Jackson has had 2 completely healthy seasons in his career, and he's got MVP both of those years. Like, that's absurd, dude. Like, Lamar is very fucking good. He's unbelievable what he can do in the pocket. He had some, in my opinion, I blame play calling. I think they gave up on the run. I don't think that ever works. That you were only ever down by 10. I don't know why you stop running the ball if you're down 10. The game's over.
With a guy like Lamar Jackson that can make those fucking fireworks happen.
Bro, one play.
I just hated on him for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever the fuck, but I'm not going to sit here and be ignorant and be like, oh, he doesn't make plays. I won't sit here and act like, yes, he wouldn't be the best offensive player on the Steelers. Like, okay, I'm just telling you, when you stand on you need $260 million and then you go out there and fumble it once in the first half and throw it right into double coverage, I mean, bro, somebody's got to hold your feet to the fire. We can't just come out and say, oh, it was The offensive coordinator.
The pick at the end was 100% Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
They could have avoided that play call. They could have avoided that whole scenario, but the pick at the end was 100% Lamar Jackson. Just, hey, my guy's better than your 3 guys somehow.
Yeah,
we'll see how this works. But Lamar Jackson didn't punch the fucking ball out of Zay Flowers' hands right in front of that goal line. I know that.
He did drop it when he was standing in the pocket once.
Yeah, and he's done that all year, and he's still MVP because he stayed making up
guy,
for it.
Karlaftis, is a dog too.
Purdue, Boilermaker. My mom
bro.
gets all gassed up anytime she sees that guy make a fucking
He's so
play.
fucking good, bro. He was a steal. I remember when they picked him up last year in the draft. Not this past year, but the year before. I said George Karlaftis. I said he would be a very good piece for them.
I listen. I don't want to 100% discredit the play calling and stuff, just because like if you do look at some of the stats and you bring the analytics into it, bro, Kansas City Chiefs had 20 less plays and 15 minutes extra time of possession.
Yeah, bro. It was clinical.
Like it's not
when
even.
When they held the ball for 9 minutes in the first quarter, that's when I said, "Oh well, this is how you stop Lamar Jackson. You keep him off the field.
You keep Lamar off the field, you'll beat him."
And if you look at it, like Pacheco ran the ball 24 times. That's not a team that we say, "Oh yeah, Kansas City's gonna run the ball."
Right.
We don't ever talk about that.
Well,
we'll never talk about
running it well all year though.
Mahomes does something that Brady, bro, did that was really well. That was almost like he did a really good job of feeling the heartbeat, the vibe, bro, of his team that specific day. If he needed to be Superman, he'd be Superman. If his defense was balling and he knew like today's a day that we don't make a mistake and we get out of here, then he knew how to be a game manager for a game. And actually, Mahomes talked about it after the game, saying like, yeah, I knew that I didn't have to, like, the defense was good, so I wasn't pressing anything. But damn it, bro, if that game was tied, there would have been a highlight. There would have been a couple highlights. He would have went and made a play. Like, so he can turn that
anyway.
on and
He
off.
always got highlights.
Right, no, but you know what I'm saying. Like, he would have went and, done something like, and he's the type of dude that he's going to have 3 bad quarters and then he's going to find his vibe. So you better be up like 4 touchdowns going into the 4th.
Apparently that's like what the fuck happens with Brock Purdy and the Niners. They keep giving games away than just fucking stealing them, dude.
Yeah.
And here's
that was crazy.
We'll wait until we talk about the NFC.
Yeah.
Well, we can now, dude. Let's switch gears. We did.
Yeah, go ahead,
that was a pretty fluid transition. I'm with it. I think we've all spoke our piece.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is a fucking god.
Dog.
Lamar Jackson ain't it. So let's talk about the next game.
Yeah, Josh.
Do I go first with the Lions?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, they played borderline perfect for the first half of the game. If the game ended after 2 quarters, the Lions would be in the fucking Super Bowl. Games don't end after 2 quarters. If games ended after 2 quarters, the Packers would have been playing the Lions in the NFC Championship game because the 49ers don't know how to play football for the first 30 minutes of a football game. But of course, I've kind of been back and forth with it. I'm kind of biased because I am an Oregon Ducks fan. I did watch Dan Lanning go for it on 4th and goal against Washington in our first game against them in Washington this year. He went for it on 4th and goal twice. He got stuffed both times, and we lost that game by 3 points. And then here we go in the second half. This is the play that fucked me up, dude, and I kind of knew it was done. It wasn't the Jahmyr Gibbs fumble, which is a complete fluke because he's a dog. It was, you're up 14 points. You're at the fucking 30-yard line, dude. I get that y'all have been going for it on 4th, but it's like 4th and 6. Like, it's not like a layup. I get y'all go for it on 4th. I get you're aggressive, dude. You're up 14. You kick this 3 points, and it's a 3-score game, dude. And, like, it's going to be unbelievably difficult for the 49ers to come back with how much time was left in that game from a fucking 3-score deficit, especially considering how much your defense showed up in that first half. And he went for it. And I don't know. I personally, I put that blame on that call on Dan Campbell because you have to at least try to get that 3. I don't care how much faith you do or don't have in your kicker. You're already up 14. Just put your fucking field goal kicker on the field. But at the same time, Josh Reynolds, I mean, Josh Reynolds beat him. He was wide open. His hands were open. He hit him in the hands. Like, Josh Reynolds has to make that fucking catch. Excuses.
But Josh, listen, we just talked about how you need to do what you did all year to get you there. If you're running the ball, keep running the ball.
Do what you did in the first half.
Dan Campbell went for it on fucking
half.
Dan Campbell went for it on 4th down all year, so he did it again. That's all I'm
right,
saying.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
That's what got him there, though. That's what got him.
Listen, it's you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I'm saying in that very specific moment, you're up 14. You have to kick that ball, dude. I understand it's live by the sword, die by the sword. But if you're up 14 points and a field goal puts you up 3 scores, there's just no logic in going for it there.
I'd be curious to see how often they go for it when they're outside of 5 yards, though, considering it was 4th and 6.
Right. I could be wrong on that. I think it was 4th and 6.
Yeah, I mean, if you're at a 30% rate in the season, 35%.
Third, I'll take those percentages every day of the week, bud.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Now, I hear you 100%. It was a little bit farther than, the old push 2 yards that we watched Philly do, which I promise you that will be part of the player safety initiative. I promise you. Because when Jalen Hurts breaks his neck, that'll be illegal, but we can talk about that then.
We can talk about that.
Listen, it's just like, I don't blame Dan Campbell for the loss of that. Dan Campbell is fucking half the reason they made it there. Period. They have a hell of a fucking coach. They have a hell of a fucking team. I hope they do well next year.
So funny part about this is everybody could see the beautiful. Go ahead, show me.
Yeah, bro. Man, go to hell.
We got a nice little mustache game going here. We had a little bet. It was all in the spread. I had Baltimore in the spread, and Avery had the Niners in the spread. Avery called me with about
3 minutes left. There was 3 fucking minutes left. The Lions had the ball they just got the ball, and I called Riley. I said, "Dunbar, fuck it. Fuck that mustache. I can't wait till Josh has to shave his shit." Boy.
I texted him. I said, "See you in a mustache, pal."
And that's it.
Yeah. Bad news.
Oh, dude. Right.
Yeah, bro. That shit hurt. Mind y'all, I didn't shave until today at about 1 because I just couldn't.
So
man.
I think the way that Detroit looked in that AFC Championship game or NFC Championship game reminded me of the way that the 2017 Falcons walked into the Super Bowl in the second half against the Patriots. Very, very reminiscent of that almost, right? Like they just thought they had the game in the bag and nah, not even close. And
hey, Riley.
I think that team also was very easy to cheer for, naturally because of
80% of America wanted them to win, cuz.
Correct. And I mean, you go into an NFC Championship game and you score 3 rushing touchdowns.
You run the ball down the San Francisco 49ers throat in the first quarter, bro.
That is
something. Williams with that 42-yard
I'm not even going to say
run.
First half. I'm going to say first quarter because it was a blitz. It was like
It pisses me off, honestly.
I know because they got the ultimate game manager.
It's just like I'm a football lover. Like, bro, you guys were.
You made football hard. Like at the end of the day, we talk about how football can be very easy at times, and it can. Sports in general are very easy at times. Why not just keep doing the same exact
they would have been able to.
Until you stop, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, going back to the 49ers right quick.
Yeah,
going back to the 49ers right quick. We talked about how, the Ravens didn't want to run the ball down 10. Go back and look at that first drive from the 49ers when they came out at halftime and they got the ball down 17. They gave the ball to Christian McCaffrey the first 3 or 4 plays of that drive. Like they kept the ball
also
on
Brock
the ground.
McCaffrey was going crazy too.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that too. Brock Purdy looked like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that Brock Jackson.
I saw a 5'11", 200-pound.
He's quicker than Mahomes.
Iowa State
Not
graduate out there running a full 10 miles an hour, taking first downs and shit away, and just keeping drives alive with his legs. If we had said
his 10-yard split was a 1-6, so
I'll go ahead and tell y'all what the player prop on Brock Purdy's rushing yards was. 12.5. If you went over, guess what? You cash. Because my boy was out there, he had about 3 runs of 12 yards by himself.
Bro, him and Brian Branch were like this, bro, and Purdy
just started losing him, bro. Like, I'm here to tell you, the human body does amazing things when it's scared. And that's what that moment was.
Bro, I think the most lethal, the something that's untalked about though with quarterbacks that's lethal is like this aspect of like you like don't want to hit them hard and you kind of let up. You think they're gonna slide as soon as they let up, like, and it's a weird dynamic that leads to like all these extra yards. And
like, bro, people didn't talk about it. People didn't talk. Yes, in the Steelers game, please.
The Josh Allen fake slide.
Bro, and that's the first game back from DeMonte Casey being suspended for the rest of the season after he hit Michael Pittman, which that was a horseshit fucking call too, bro. Yeah, he didn't go in there ready to take Josh Allen's legs the fuck out, like he was gonna break his kneecaps. You're right, he didn't do that. But that's what the NFL wanted, and now we give up a 50-yard run for a touchdown. Like, bro, there's got to be a fucking happy medium in here somewhere. Like, you leave the line of scrimmage, it's delete. I don't give a fuck.
Guess who else has done it and got away with it in college?
Okay, they made a rule against it in college. Yeah, they made a rule against it.
But they had to because that fucker did it 3 times and scored 3 50-yard touchdowns to his own self.
Yes.
Like, once you give yourself up and say, I'm stopping, bro, just market.
That's a good example, though, of the different type of athletic qualities that people have. Kenny Pickett, I think, in a straight line might be faster than Brock Purdy, but when it comes to like quick twitch, like
vision and
twitch or quickness, whatever, but like he just doesn't have
agility.
That, like,
it's agility. It's the ability to turn.
Fucking get his shoulder down and get around a corner, or turn, or step up in the pocket the same way Purdy can. Just the little manipulations that it honestly makes a huge difference. Aside from the fact that Purdy honestly throws some crazy layered passes. The way he layers the ball, bro, that's definitely by far his best
bro.
Like attribute passing wise.
People have tried to compare him to Jimmy Garoppolo, and there's no comparison whatsoever.
Bro, he's Steve Young.
Jimmy Garoppolo was dirt compared to Brock Purdy because I feel like Brock Purdy is the whole being Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick, and being in the position he is now. People have seen that he works hard, and B, he's probably got a lot of respect because of that. So people want to play with him. That's the main thing. That right there is going to make him just better than Jimmy Garoppolo because Jimmy Garoppolo they feel was handed everything that he had because of where he started in New England and the situation that he was in when he got traded. Everybody said, "Oh, that's a starting quarterback," because he was in New England behind Tom Brady. What had he done to that point? What had he done to that point? Yeah, like
you think Steven Youngman? You think Steven Youngman is a good comparison for Purdy?
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. They're both kind of smaller guys in stature. The only difference being one's left-handed, one's right-handed. I don't think you'll see Brock Purdy out there running the ball for 50 to 70 yards in the Super Bowl.
It's one fucking year. It's a year and 5 games he's played. Let's not call him Steve Young yet. Brock Purdy is good.
I mean,
not
like
Steve
I
Young.
said,
Brock Purdy is
I'm
good.
not. Hey, I'm not saying he is Steve Young, but I'm also not saying he's fucking shit and gonna downgrade him because
This is what I'll say.
he's won.
No, and I'm not one of them cats
Like,
either.
he's won,
I
bro.
wish
He's
he
a
was shit. I
playmaker.
wish
He's not. He's not.
He doesn't.
He's
He
not
makes
Steve
shit
Young.
happen.
He's not Steve Young, but he's better than Tony Romo.
He makes shit happen. Like you can say what you want about him. If
I
you
feel
got
like
to have
Tony
a throw-
Romo's a good comparison, if I'm being honest. Damn.
That's a. You're sinking his ceiling at this point.
Yeah, that's bad.
Romo was mobile, didn't have a big arm, was
He couldn't
athletic.
do it in December, brother. That's Brock Purdy's MO, my guy.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying on the
Keep
surface
hot.
of physically.
Physically, yes. I'm talking about
smaller
career.
Tom Brady,
I'm talking
bro.
about and I think that's what Josh was referring to more so, like Steve Young's entire career. Brock Purdy isn't on that level. He's good and he's done some good things, but
He's got
we
some
ain't
work
putting
to do before we start talking about Hall of Famers.
correct. But what
Right.
I'm saying is we could
we're
easily
not
talk
physically.
him higher than a Tony Romo, a Phil Rivers, you know what I'm saying? Some of these quarterbacks that had maybe really good regular seasons and never did it really in the playoffs. You know what I mean? I'm not taking anything away from these guys. Carson Palmer, sure. You know, like I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm saying Brock Purdy is better than them. That's
What's up with the 49ers taking with quarterbacks going to, bro? They took Alex Smith and Kaepernick to a Super Bowl, then took Garoppolo to a Super Bowl. And now
Bro, did you guys see Alex Smith tweeted Brock Purdy something like,
yeah, bro, he's not
one game manager to the other?
No, from the unofficial president of the game members.
Yeah, you're not in the club.
Yeah, bro, you're not in the club. Bro, he's not a game manager. Game managers don't go out there and throw the ball for 350 yards, bro.
He's a playmaker.
AJ McCarron, game manager. No, AJ McCarron, you're great. Better than that was their football. Brock Purdy's not AJ McCarron. He's not a game manager. Game managers don't affect the game. They don't affect it. They don't change it. He's a game changer. There's a difference in the two, and the difference is he makes plays when he has to make them.
No, yeah, he's dynamic. He overcomes, but I think that the only thing that he's missing is a howitzer. If he had a fucking rocket for an arm, that'd be the only thing. But people are so enamored with that for some reason, like so enamored with that one feature in a quarterback: ability to make off-platform throws and ability to make cross-body throws, no-look passes.
That's because they sell tickets. They sell tickets. They're highlights.
Well, no,
just like Riley said. They're highlights.
And they see it from the Mahomeses and the Josh Allens.
Josh Allen won't win a fucking thing. At the end of the day, he won't win a fucking thing in his career. We're going to talk about Josh Allen like we did Dan Marino. You know what the two have in common? They can throw the ball 80 fucking yards. And guess what? They won't fucking win anything.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that with Purdy, though, like, he is like he does a lot of those things that those great quarterbacks do as far as being able to make those throws and stuff, but he just does it on a slightly smaller level. Like it's not as far downfield, or it's a little more he hits the check down or something like that.
Let's talk about the Super Bowl.
Yes, as everybody knows, we just went over how me and Avery have the fine mustaches from the AFC and NFC championship games. He has the Niners, I got the Chiefs.
Just run it.
So why don't you take the over and Josh takes the under at 47.5?
Fine, dude.
All right.
There we go. And loser does the one shit.
So did you finish that math? Did you finish the math? I just have to ask after all that.
I mean, I probably would have took 40. I probably would have took something closer to 44, but it's like if I take 46, there's no suspense there.
Over versus under.
If you take 53, the final is 27-26, right?
Over versus under. That way there's two losers no matter what.
Yeah, so what are you doing? The one chip challenge too? Both losers are doing one chip challenge, except one of us is doing it.
Dog.
You know the one chip challenge on stream? Like,
hey,
God,
and the best part about that one chip challenge is that thanks to Big Dog fucking John Bolin, we now have all this beautiful artwork around our ugly mugs, and he'll be able to put the two of us. One of us will have a mustache, one of us won't, and we'll be eating the spicy chip for a few minutes. It'll be a good time. It'll be a good time.
It's just me.
And it's here's the thing. I'm not a big like I throw some hot sauce on some stuff here and there. That chip will kill me. Like I will puke. I will be crying. There will be shit coming out of my nose.
The closest thing that I probably
me.
had to that would be the Insanity Wing from this little spot called East Coast Wings that we used to have around Washington. They had an Insanity Wing. They injected the wing with the Carolina Reaper, and then they had the Ghost
Injected the wing.
Yeah, they inject the wing with the ghost pepper like sauce, and then they put like a coating of ghost pepper like
it was
sauce
hell
on it, bro.
Are
you with that, Ronnie? The one chip?
I did that shit one time, and it
Ronnie
literally
said the one chip, didn't he? That was Ronnie's idea.
No, that was my idea.
Oh, that was
are you with
idea.
that?
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
No,
yes. Yes.
No, I'm not.
Somebody will be in pain.
Okay, yeah. Are we? And I just want to ask now: is this? Are we gonna have to sit like this the rest, like that after that recording after the Super Bowl? Are we gonna sit like that in pain and suffer for the rest of the episode?
Yes.
Okay. All right. No.
Do it right at the beginning, right after intros. Just knock it out.
Bet. I'm with it. I like that. I like that even more.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there. I will have milk. We'll have
My
ice cream.
intro is gonna be Ronnie
we'll
wear
have
a burns.
all that shit here.
What?
100% I'll have
Question.
milk. 100%.
Oh yeah.
A gallon. I'll puke milk on camera. I don't care. I'm a gambler. It's problematic.
DGen time, boys. All right. So.
Hey, Ryan, what's your key to the Super Bowl?
Yeah. So I think, first of all, somebody mentioned it earlier about how slow the Niners start. So just a little bit of my own experience in football. Teams that start slow, you have to work that hard like they did in the last two games to get where they are. That will suck the life out of you. That'll suck the life out of you. I'm afraid that, I'm not afraid, but I believe Kansas City's going to win the game. Kansas City's going to win the game because they're going to come out and they attack early. Okay, they attack early. They take advantage of the turnovers. They do the things that I haven't seen Kansas City do Kansas City does the things that I haven't seen San Francisco do in the last couple rounds of the playoffs. Okay, they start early. They're on it hot. They're on it the whole time. Okay, then if they do that and they're leading, if Kansas City's leading by 5 points or more at halftime, the game is over. Kansas City will win because this isn't Jordan Love and this isn't Jared Goff that they're going to go play against in the second half. So, and therefore, I'd have the Super Bowl MVP, and we might be unanimous if Kansas City wins, will be Patrick Mahomes. And then it's just the opposite. If Kansas City doesn't get a quick start and they're not up by 5 at halftime, it's anybody's game. I think Patrick Mahomes could lead a comeback, but I also think that if the Niners do keep it close, they have a really good shot. And if they win, I think we'll see a Christian McCaffrey Super Bowl MVP. Thoughts? Avery, what do you think?
See, me, I kind of think it's going to be the opposite for the 49ers as far as the slow starts because, like, they've had it the last two, like, third time's a charm. We're not going to go through this the third time in a row. We're also going to get 2 weeks to prepare. Devo is going to be 100%. I don't think that was something that people talked about enough. Like, dude had a sprained AC joint. Like, that shit hurts. Right? Especially for a physical receiver, that takes a toll on you. Like, I kind of feel like that's what they were waiting on also was him to try to figure it out. Like, am I really going to be able to produce? That's what happened in the second half. he was another key contributor for them. I think that the 49ers have to set the tone with their run game like they have all season. And, of course, you got to stop the run. You have to force Isaiah Pacheco to not be a factor, even if he does touch the ball 24 times. Like, he literally has to have 24 carries and less than 50 yards. Like, the run game has to be non-existent. I know that's probably a terrible thing to say. Let Patrick Mahomes beat me. Well, outside of Travis Kelce, I would double team him. Let one of those guys on the outside, not named Rashee Rice, beat me also. Like, Travarius Ward, he has to be on Rashee Rice, and there has to be a combination of people on Travis Kelce to take him out of the game, as hard as that's going to be, because he's such a matchup nightmare for linebackers and safeties alike. Brock Purdy, just continue to do what you've done all year. I'm ready to see him on a stage where people will actually forced to watch him make things happen, and when he makes things happen, they have to say, "Oh, he made some shit happen," because he's done it time and time again, and nobody likes to say that's what he's done. I think the 49ers squeak out a win. It's going to be very close. It's going to be a very great game. People don't talk about Kyle Shanahan either with his second half adjustments. You can say that they're not adjustments if you want. It's just the shit that's gotten them this far. But to have that belief in your team to go out there and do the things that have gotten you here and say, we're just going to go with it, and they work out, I think that's a credit to him. People don't really want to give Shanahan a lot of credit, but I think he's a pretty good guy, pretty good coach. So I think we're going to be treated to an instant classic here in a couple of weeks. Media day this week or next week is going to be pretty interesting. I think Brock Purdy ends up with a Super Bowl MVP. I think whoever the winning team, their quarterback is going to get it. Because if it's San Francisco, Brock Purdy, it's going to be the Brock Purdy coming out party. I think Brock Purdy's career trajectory is closer to Tom Brady than Patrick Mahomes is, based off of where they've started. That's just me. That's just me. Not saying he's going to have 7 Super Bowls or all of that, but the trajectory of where it looks closer to Tom Brady than what Mahomes is. Just my opinion. You guys can do whatever you want with that. Same with what Riley said, though. If Mahomes and the Chiefs win, that's who's going to get the MVP. Josh, what do you think?
I think that, like I've said for 3 weeks consecutively, the Chiefs have been underdogs every single time. I don't see this changing at all. I think it's pretty obvious. This is a team that's been there. This is what they do. Pat Mahomes is very confident. He's very aware of who he is. Travis Kelce has been playing lights out. Isaiah Pacheco's had a phenomenal year. Their offensive line is one of the best in the NFL. Their defense is what was keeping them in games in the first half of the season. Their offense is what was winning them games in the second half. And I just don't think that this team's worth doubting at this point. Beyond that, the Niners are just you can't so they gave the game away the first half against the Lions and the Packers already. Both of those teams should have beat the Niners. The Niners came back on some bullshit in the second half, and they got very fortunate with a lot of wrongdoings on the other team's side. The Kansas City Chiefs are not the fucking team that makes those fucking wrongdoings in the second half. The Chiefs are going to get ahead. They're going to stay ahead. I don't know if there's even a fucking lead change in this game, to be honest. It's just going to be clinical, and God knows if they can maintain possession of the ball against the Niners like they did against the fucking Ravens last week, this shit is already done. It's already done. Them being an underdog is a fucking joke. You can throw on the Niners. You absolutely can throw on the Niners. It's not very easy to run on them, but you can have, or actually, I don't know, because the last 2 teams had some pretty good fucking success running on the Niners, I'd say. But, on paper, that's the best rush defense in the league. So And I think the guy throwing the ball is pretty good at throwing the ball. I think that the guy throwing the ball is going to be the Super Bowl MVP. I think that he will ultimately, I mean, you can call this a hot take if you fucking want. I think Pat Mahomes is going to break every record that Tom Brady ever set. I'm done doubting this team. I've watched enough of them. I've made enough money betting on them as live underdogs when they just keep winning. That this feels like a free bet to me, you know. Like they will win. Them being underdogs at all is bananas. And like what Ronnie said last week, like he wasn't wrong about how massively pivotal those fucking cornerbacks were either, dude. Like Snead and McDuffie were vital in that fucking game, dude. Like Amon-Ra did not have no fucking, Amon-Ra. Like they kept the passing low. Like as much as you can like blame fucking play calling and receivers and drop passes and shit like that. Trent McDuffie and Snead are really good. Snead's really good. Nick Bolton is really good that nobody fucking talks about. Like Chris Jones, obviously, real fucking good. George Karlaftis, like they have studs everywhere, dude. Like it would take really serious injuries, I think, for the Chiefs to lose this game. And I'm not going to bet against Pat Mahomes in a Super Bowl. That to me is the equivalent of betting against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, and that never fucking works. So I think the Chiefs are going to win, and I think they're going to win handily.
Ooh.
Yep. And Dan Marino's second place was 16, right? So this is Pat Mahomes and that was Brady. Right. Our producer reminded us that Brady has 35 playoff wins, and Mahomes has what? 14, right? And this is Mahomes. What is it? 5th year? 6th year? 6th year. So in 19 more years. In 19 more years, if he plays as long as Brady, he's gonna, I don't know, have 100. Montana, yeah.
That's insane. He's about to surpass. Mahomes is about to surpass Peyton Manning for wins in playoffs.
He already did.
Yeah, he's literally third.
Okay, I thought it was the other time.
Yeah. So when he wins the Super Bowl, yeah, he'll beat him. That's how good
he's
he is.
Insane. We've never seen anything like Patrick Mahomes. Like that's just what it is. It's just there's only so many ways you can say it though. We've said it we've said every time. So 6 different AFC championships, 6 different times we've said it. Like you have a rookie season, you pass for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns, bro. What? Like he's insane, bro. Like even back to the Super Bowl loss when he threw that pass like vertical on the ground. Like yeah, everybody made a big deal about it, an incompletion, but it was insane. Like it really was. Like he's nuts, and he puts on a different like the ankle being hurt, limping around, and then willing his team to victory last year. Like bro, he just like he has all that mystique of the legends, like a Jordan, like crazy.
No, yeah, it's we're witnessing greatness. They're not gonna fucking lose.
We are, bro. Yeah, we really are, bro. We're literally witnessing like it really is greatness. And honestly,
Ronnie, what do you think about the Super Bowl? What do you think is going to happen in the Super Bowl?
I think that it would be I think that it could be closer. I actually really liked what Avery said about stopping the Chiefs. I think people focus too much right now on stopping Mahomes. It's not one, you're not stopping Mahomes. 2, that run game, if they get a run game, you are definitely not stopping Mahomes. Period. Just wrap it up. Go home. You're not stopping him if they have a run game. So you got to go in there, shut him down. And honestly, the one thing I would say is I would be okay if Rashee Rice beats me. Like, if that's what it is at the end of the day, a rookie, I think he is, or a second year.
He's a rookie. That guy is rookie.
If he's the one that beats me, like, so be it. But, like, you got to hope that you know, the seems like the games where they've been off is the ones where Kelsey is kind of shut down, and him and Rashee Rice can't figure it out, and then they don't really have anywhere else to go, and then and Pacheco's not running the ball well, you know, or not enough. So it's like that's definitely, and you know, the Niners have the players to do that, so they could put up a fight, and then I think you know, so I do think it could be close. It's going to be interesting to see the vibe of the game. I think it's close either way. I think if it's a scoring game, it's close, and I think if it's a, you know, like, it's going to either be high scoring and close or low scoring and close. I don't think one team's going to blow the other team out, or one team's going to win like 13-0, like the what was that one Super Bowl? Was it the Broncos?
The Broncos and Panthers, bro. Broncos and Panthers. That was
Broncos Panthers. It's like 13-10.
Von Miller and Luke Kuechly.
Peyton Manning could throw the ball 5 yards.
Yeah,
literally.
That's where, honestly, that's where we should be so happy to have Mahomes, because he ensures us that we don't have to go through shit like that. Yeah, bro.
13-3 was that final. It was bad. That game was ugly.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
17.
17 was the Falcons, Patriots.
18. It may be 18 then. 18.
Well, I was just going to say, too, it's crazy when you look back on it, too. And I know we're talking about this Super Bowl, but again, with Mahomes, is when you look back, the only motherfucker to get him was Brady. Like, damn. Like, you know, like, that's even almost better to the story, because it's like the only person we'll never be able to for sure say he's better than is Brady. And Brady got him head-to-head. Like, in the Super Bowl, Brady got him, too.
Yeah,
so
he was young. He was young.
That was a home game for Tom Brady, and both of their fucking offensive tackles were out, and Andy Reid's kid killed a family the night before. Come on.
Yeah. There was some shit going
on. The
on.
odds were stacked against him there. It was in Tampa. It was a home game, son. What?
Yeah, okay, but dude, Tom Brady was 44 years old.
Tom Brady looked at Tyrann Mathieu, told him he was the best ever, and then went out and delivered, bro. That's the one thing I remember from that game.
Bingo.
Yeah, Brady definitely didn't win. Brady didn't win. Brady didn't win. The Chiefs lost.
And just so everybody knows, our producer is absolutely bad-mouthing Tom Brady right now. Just absolutely just shit-showing basically everybody in here. I haven't heard Avery yet, but
I'm not bad-mouthing Tom Brady. I'm saying the Cards were stacked against the Chiefs.
I just love to see that the hate for the GOAT is still alive and well.
So that concludes our post games from the AFC and NFC championship games, and our preview for the Super Bowl. When we see you guys again, two of us are going to have a bid. Yeah, I might be dressed in a full trash bag, so I don't make too much of a mess. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us and talking some football. We'll see you guys next time.